Yo, what's going on, y'all? Welcome back to another VoD review. Today we have a gold echo slash Pharah, I believe. I think they said they're playing Pharah sometime in this VoD. But before we start, I just want to say if anybody wants a VoD reviewed, let me know. Join my Discord in the description, or just let me know in the comments. With all that being said, let's just start the video. So looking at your heals, you don't have a Mercy, you have Ana Moira. I would just keep that in mind. Make sure you're in Ana Zelos if you need heals, shit like that. Now, genuinely, when I'm playing Echo, I'm not the best Echo, I'm not gonna lie. Probably like Diamond Master level, but it's a lot of shooting tanks with me because one, a lot of your teams gonna be shooting tanks, so you can get a good value out of execution beam. Two, they have big hitboxes, so that your projectiles are a lot easier to hit. You'll get a lot of value out of right click, left click, and you'll just get ult charge like really quickly, and your ult is pretty high impact. And then that's kind of it. Just I play for ult charge. There's really no reason to fly here, but you're not really getting pressure, so it's okay. Just careful for the McCree. So you're really pushing really aggressively here. Now, sure, you're probably going to live here, because I'm assuming this McCree's going to miss you. Better McCrees are going to start hitting those shots. Like a 2-tap right here would kill you. But I do like that you're trying to hit them while they're rotating. That's a really good, like, a vulnerable time when the enemy team is, trying to push in and the tanks are front landing. And then the enemy team's like, how do I describe this? If they're perpendicular to you, for example, you're facing them and they're moving horizontally, that's a good time to start shooting them, like while they're rotating. Anyway, here I'll just try to get to a good spot near my team so I can start shooting tanks. This isn't really the best because you're really far away spamming a choke. And sure, I didn't see the McCree. I mean, I did because I had the outline. You didn't see the McCree. But you don't really want to be focusing him too much. You just want to be more so avoiding him and focusing tanks. That's, again, might not be the best advice. I'm still new to Echo, still bad at Echo, but I think that would be the difference that I would be making. Beaming down Ryan here is good. Beaming down tanks is going to be a lot easier than beaming down squishies that are with their team. So, I'm going to say it again. Why'd you lose? I think you didn't put enough pressure on the tanks. Simple as that. You took a useless duel with a McCree. That didn't really go anywhere. You would have got a lot more value if you just spent the whole time poking tanks down. Well, let me do this real quick. If you spent the whole time poking tanks down, they wouldn't be able to take space so like quickly. Would have given your tanks a much easier chance to survive and just hold space overall. Just do me. You keep fighting him. It's really a good matchup for you. Unless he catches you like super off guard, you win that fight 9 times out of 10. Shooting Kree here is fine. But you see your tanks getting aggressive, you kind of want to push up with them. Again, you get a lot of value to focus beam. You want to kind of play around your teammates as opposed to taking these 1v1 duels. Especially against these hard-to-hit characters. And from like such a distance, there's not really much value in that. Whereas shooting tanks, you get a lot more value. A lot easier to do as well. So, try to help your Ryan out here. Unfortunately. So, you do a lot of... I'll use my left shift to go up, and then I fall back. Usually go up, fall back. And you're not landing on really many high grounds, and that's not good. Well, first off, you're retreating a lot after you use left shift. Like, you're not really putting yourself into an advantageous situation. You're doing, like, 2 or 3 ticks of damage and then running away. Which, again, it's not really that valuable. And when you use your left shift, ideally try to land on a high ground near you. Because, like, a big point of left shift is to trade your ability for some height. And if you land on high ground, you get cooldown back, you don't lose the height. So then you could, what's it called? You could just do work from up there, you could float down, and then still have your left shift to use later in the duel that you're taking. That's just something I'd be doing here. At this point, they use beat drop. I would just try to hover around a little bit, disengage maybe. Win this duel against the Kree, easy beam. You get stunned, took a little too long, it's okay. Real quick. One little thing. So you have right click. It's not a big deal. Just before you swap, make sure you're using that cooldown. Just because 1 little second of cast time and it could like potentially be a ton of damage. Might as well use it. Now I didn't even look at the kill feed, but damn, y'all rolled them and this ult was, as you can see, useless. Looks like you're swapping here. I do this too. When I use a bad ult, I'm like, damn, I really don't want to play this character no more. I do the same shit. I swap. Assuming you're going Pharah here, because that's what you said in the VoD. No, Reaper. Okay. Reaper against our comp's pretty good. Just be careful for stun. Besides that, you beat every character in 1v1. Now, a way I like to play Reaper, it's been working well for me recently, is I'll use my TP and kind of sit on the high ground, maybe this one, because, you know, a lot of teams like to go main / right, and you could go to both main and right from over here. If they all go on left, then, you know, the battle's kind of is really spread out, so this doesn't really apply. But if teams going main and right, you could sit up on this high ground, deny enemy tanks from taking high ground. Maybe the Bap or Lucia try to take it. Maybe the Doomfist, you know, very small chance. But sitting up on this high ground, you could drop into the core of the enemy team and just do work. However, you could do that. You could also do just kind of anti-dive, because you know they're on Winston D.Va, and you could just play with the middle of your team and make sure that your squishies are okay from their dive tanks. It looks like you're doing the protect the dive tanks, protect your team from the dive kind of thing. Waste of Wraith. Excuse me. Waste of Wraith there, you know that was in front of the shield. But focusing the Winston while LOSing the McCree, happy to see that. It just sucks that you look like you're about to die with Wraith. Without Wraith, excuse me. No, you're good. Careful here. So I'm going to leave out a mech. Try to choose a different target. I wouldn't take too much time shooting a baby D.Va, personally, but that's just me. So I'll be focusing on Winston here. I know that baby D.Va is, you know, she's kind of a priority target at this point, because you would assume she's close to getting a mech back after being out of mech for 10-15 seconds. But shooting this Winston who's purple, why is this good? Because you're going to be dealing 150, okay. A regular Reaper shot is 125. You hit some headshot pellets, you may be dealing 150, 175, 200 per shot. Plus you're healing a ton off of that, and you have the Ana boosted heals. I think that would just be great to do. Just pound into this Winston. Like, your whole point as Reaper is anti-tank, or win a duel against an isolated squishy. But in the middle of the whole battle, you're not going to be able to, you know, kill a baby D.Va. So that's why you want to be shifting your focus on this Winston. Your whole point right now is stay alive. And pounding tanks gives you a ton of heals. So hopefully you shift your focus towards him. Yeah, TP, it was roughly advised. I wouldn't have done it. It is what it is. So, I think you need to put more pressure on tanks overall. A lot of the time, you're getting distracted by like a Lucio or McCree or somebody who's separated who you're not going to be able to kill. Just because you don't have the damage potential. You're not going to be able to kill them. Put that attention, all that time that you're wasting shooting the McCree over here, shooting the Lucio over there. You could be using pounding tanks, pressuring tanks, and making it much harder for them to take space. And I know people use that term as kind of a buzzword, take space, but it's honestly important as fuck. Because the whole enemy team is able to take this whole way without you pressuring them. But if you're, you know, up here poking them down, and maybe fall back, up here poking them down, you don't let the enemy get comfortable. You don't let them just, you know, walk into you like you kind of did. So that's what I would have done differently. And a big plus of that, you don't need great aim to focus tanks. So even if you have bad mechanics like I do, you can still get value. Anyway, they're on Junkrat. You don't know that they have Ash yet. Even if you're a Mercy, I like it. So, generally with Pharah here, I don't peek until I have Conch Blast. So I don't Conch Blast out of spawn, because the whole point of, you know, the big reason I like Pharah on this map is the enemy team sets up here, right? You boop this pillar, acts as a backboard, boops those two people off, and then the D.Va should fly back. But you get a big boop on these people on high ground. Now, if you're poking, you're giving the enemy team 5 seconds, because you have 5 seconds on the cooldown. Look in the bottom right. You're giving the enemy team 5 seconds to react to your boop, and then they don't, you know, stand in this bad position, and then you don't get any value to your boop. That's why I would save my Conch Blast.
I will not waste this opportunity.
But gold players aren't looking like they're reacting, so you may still be able to get value out of it. Maybe I'm giving you too much credit. Maybe I'm giving players too much credit overall. I thought that was a common thing people did, is use that pillar as a backboard, boop the enemy tanks down. I thought people was doing that shit, like, religiously. I guess not. Alright, learn something every day. Anyway, you want to do something here. Let's see where your tanks are going. Tanks pushing left, okay. You and Mercy can stay main here. Once you see your tanks get aggressive, you want to get aggressive with them. Just here, make sure if you're taking poke, you're staying close to the wall, so you can jiggle peek back, get healed up, and then go again. Good kill. They don't have Mercy, you don't gotta stop res. This point, look at the back to your right, separated. Junkrat too. Junkrat's a great target as well. Can't do anything to you. You're backing off. I don't like it. So, last time, remember how I was saying you're fighting Swiss because you're not going to beat in duels, and because you don't have the damage potential? You, as a pocketed Pharah against a fucking Junkrat or a BAP, you 100% have the damage potential to beat them. And it'd be much more valuable than you shooting these tanks here. God, it's so contradictory to my last advice, and I'm trying to find a way to help you differentiate. I think the differentiating factor here is the fact that you're pocketed. Its damage boost makes your rockets much more potent. So, you know, maybe 3 splash rockets, 4 splash rockets to kill them. I don't have anything counting directs because I don't want to give you too much credit for hitting directs. And any damage you take, it's healed right back up. So you can get more aggressive in the duels. Even if you're not getting damage boosted, the fact that you're allowed to get more aggressive because you have 250, 300, 350 effective HP from your Mercy healing you, that's going to be enough to help you win that duel. Help you get closer. Just win with 2, 3 straight pot shot rockets, you know? Their hit scan's still dead. You can still do work. You don't have to disengage here. Just don't die to, like, trickle damage from a Lucio or a D.Va or something like that. Good group away. Awesome to see that. Keep poking. Awesome. You know that your team's not pushing in, but you're still poking, trying to get ult charged. Good. Exactly what I want to see you doing. Good try in the boop. You got Lucio, I think, which isn't really that good, but it is what it is. Better than nothing. There we go. That's nobody? Just a D.Va, I guess. Anyway, the D.Va's overextending. Your Echo's focusing here. That's really good. Your main tank's feeding. This is fine. You have free barrage here. Just watch out for Sigma ult, or Sigma grasp, excuse me. Alright, shouldn't need ult here. Judging by the kill feed, your team has a really big advantage. No need to waste ult. You're doing a good job of keeping BAP off his main tank. I like it. You're not killing him, which sucks, but I'm not going to give you too much shit for having, you know, less than godly mechanics. It's no big deal. Good job on that, Lucio. So, I don't know why you're AFKing here. This is bad. Don't AFK, ever. Uh-oh. Y'all lost that. I'm not saying it's because you AFK'd, but why the fuck would you ever AFK? If this is a comp game, I'm fucking flaming you for that shit, bro. Please, please never fucking AFK. That's so upsetting. Literally never, 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 never. Please remember this shit. Never do that shit again. Oh, that shit got under my skin. Anyway, now you're back to just first fight territory, trying to boot people off the high ground. It's going to be hard to get a good barrage against their comp because they have Lamp, they have Sigma eat, they have D.Va eat, and Junkrat just 2-shots you out of his thing. So you could try to look for a solo barrage where you'd live. That's what I would do. So maybe this BAP, he doesn't have his Lamp right now. Solo barraging him would be terrible. Nope, you leave him. Why did you leave him? If you're pocketed, you win the fuck out of these 2v1s. You got to take those 2v1s. An isolated squishy, you can't run away from them if you're 2v1. 1v1, sure, because, you know, you might not have the aim and the damage potential to fight him, but you got to kill that BAP there. You end up killing everything else. Pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie, that's pretty cool. But still, just that isolated BAP would have been a much easier target. Oh, aim looked a little sus there. Good stagger. I like it. They're on Winston now, no more Sigma. They don't have to worry about the Sigma grasp. Good kills. D.Va wasn't really looking at you, so that was a good ult. Here, try to focus BAP or Lucio. Okay, target focus, I think, here is fine. But overall, it's an issue. Time to run away. Regroup here. Okay. I don't talk about ult tracking a lot when I'm reviewing lowering players. I don't talk about a lot when I'm reviewing high rank players, honestly, as well. Especially not really with Pharah. It's not that important. When you're on Sombra or like, you know, something who isn't Pharah, it might be a little more helpful. But ult tracking, I don't really put too much attention into it. Anyway, this Winston here is separate from his team. Because I'm putting attention on him. you can keep shooting him. So you have your team with you. I want to make this distinction again. You have a numbers advantage against this Winston. It's you, Moira, maybe Mercy, all fighting that Winston, and you run away from him again. If you have that big number advantage, 2v1, 3v1, 4v1 maybe, take that fight. Take that fucking 4v1. Don't run away. Like, as opposed to the 1v1 you're trying to take against the Lucio last round and the McCreary last round. I hope you can understand the distinction between the two. I hope you understand when you're supposed to take a duel, when you have a big number advantage, maybe a big ability advantage, as opposed to running away from a duel because it's it's not advantageous, or you could be getting more value elsewhere, such as pressuring tanks. Disengage here. Just keep poking shortly. Your Ryan's in an interesting situation right now. This fight's lost. Probably regroup. Or at least wait for your, what's it called? Wait for ball to engage. You don't want to be the one to lead the engage. I think Mercy's dead. Yeah, regroup. Yeah, you have ult here. You just stop poking, get your Mercy back. No reason to poke. 95%, no reason to poke. You're just going to give support ult charge and put yourself at risk of getting picked. Also, I'm going to do a little longer VoD review. I'll review the whole rest of the round here. Anyway, so small thing for ult tracking. Lucio hasn't dropped beat in a while. Probably been since first point, right? You would assume he has it at this point. If you could get in with your Pharah barrage, that would be great. If not, try to kill 1 or 2 people before he gets, to react with it. Maybe that soldier is very close. Okay, they pop beat. You don't really want to do much here. Just kind of hover around, wait for this to go away, and then look for a barrage target. Against their comp and your comp, you don't really have a grav to combo with it. You don't want to get a fat barrage. What you want to do with your barrage is kind of solo barrage one, maybe 2 people, and disengage. Try to live with it. Getting a pick on offense on 2 CP is not as valuable as dying, or excuse me, as the defense getting a pick. If you want me to explain why, here's why. So pretend you're on defense. If you trade with somebody, it takes you maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, like 8, 9 seconds to come back to point, and you're right back in the fight. Whereas if you're on attack and you die, it's fucking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It takes you fucking 25 seconds to get back to point. You know what I'm saying? So with your barrage, you kind of want to look for a solo target, kill them, and then just win off numbers advantage. Do not put yourself in a situation to die with your barrage. Those squishies right side. Good. One thing I'll do differently, and it definitely would have killed the soldier. A maneuver I like to do when I'm using my barrage is I'll do conch blast forward like you did. Very happy to see that. I just wish to use your left shift. And here's why. If you're higher, you have a better, is it called leverage? I don't really know the definition of leverage, but we'll call it leverage. You got leverage onto this thing. You got a much better, angle coming from a higher, higher ground, you're higher in the air, dog. You're higher in the air, and you have a better angle at this, this little ledge where the soldier was. So your rockets will hit the ground better, and you'll have a backdrop for your barrage. As opposed to you standing, kind of equal level with him, you see the rockets are going past them. Like, you could see 3 here. I'm sure a lot more went past them. Imagine you were higher, those would have been hitting them. And those 3, I think they deal 40 each. Fucking imagine 120 plus the ones that already went to the wall. You would have killed them. So when you want to do that combo, conch blast, and then right before you barrage, you want to press left shift, give yourself a little bit of height, just so you have to use the floor as a backdrop. Even if those missiles miss as directs, they still deal a ton of splash damage, and you shoot out a ton of them. So conch blast, jump jet, Q. Let's see, going on Genji here. I don't like it really. You kind of really want, ideally in 2 CP, Genji for his ultimate. Nano Blade's really strong, but you're not going to build ult in a minute, I don't think. So I would play something that's a little stronger without their ultimate. Maybe like a hit scan, a soldier or something. Just, I don't think you can build ultimate in now 40 seconds to get 80% ult charge. It just seems unlikely. And not particularly good with your comp either. But let's see how you do. So right here, I like this. Genji kind of, you don't really win that 1v1 against Soldier, but you don't really lose it. You pressure him away, he'll field and run away. You use your cooldowns, whatever. But at least you do something to him. Like, that's a good 1v1 to take. Because it doesn't really put you super out of position. You don't even have to waste abilities, but you just make him run away. That's good. And then you get back to your job of trying to build a charge. I don't like that dash, really. So, you want to get people lower before you use your dash. This way they have less chance to react to the fact that you're on them. You know, let me not get swooped to Genji mechanics right now, because it's almost the end of the VoD video. I don't want to take too much time, and you want to be focused on the Pharah part, so I focused on the Pharah part mainly. Pharah and Echo, because they're similar. It just looks lost. I'm not gonna really stress this. 6v4, you guys have 3v6 now. 2v6, they beat you up. Okay, so game over. So, a few things I want to say. A few big issues. Number one, work on mechanics. It's not really number one issue. It's just something you should do as a player, is overall just work on mechanics, get your aim better. Whatever characters you want to play, try to one-trick them. Doesn't matter what rank it's in. If it's fucking 1000 SR below your current average, or your current SR, that's fine. Just one-trick them, see how high you can get with it. Get yourself super comfortable with their kit. Number two, well, this is the biggest issue, is you don't know when to take duels and you don't know when to focus tanks. Now, throughout the VoD view, I already told you when to kind of differentiate. And I'll say it again here. If you have a number advantage on somebody or an ability advantage, for example, say you're on Doomfist, you see McCree, he flashbangs somebody else, and he's separated by himself. You win the fuck out of that 1v1. He doesn't have flashbang. He has roll. You boop him into the air, he can't roll. So that's the time to focus him. However, if all 6 enemies are together, or all 5 of them, and then there's someone separating, a Reaper, a Sombra, a Tracer, a Ball, someone you're not going to be able to kill. For example, that McCree who had flashbang, you're pushing on first defense, excuse me. Pushing him, you're not going to kill him. He has a health pack as well, 225 HP. It's going to be hard for you to deal all that damage by yourself. But there's also other times when you should be taking duels, because they're not really duels. They're 2v1s, 3v1s, etc. And like for example, you're pushing a BAP here. Now you did go on point and pop off a lot, but you could have killed that BAP easily and then just did that, you know, a second later. He was 1 rocket away and you ran away from him. So try to differentiate that. Try to differentiate how many people are attacking you versus how many people you have supporting you. You had a Mercy on you a lot of times. You're running away from easy 1v1s. Shit like that. Third thing is with your barrage. Try to remember the combo I taught you is Conk Blast in to give yourself a lot of horizontal speed. Left shift up to give yourself some height. And kind of try to barrage downwards so that the enemy, even if you're not hitting with direct rockets, the rockets are hitting the floor and you're getting a lot of splash damage off into the enemy. Now, one thing I did want to say I liked about your gameplay is the fact that you were poking a lot. I was really happy with your poke. In between fights, you weren't just sitting AFK, spamming regroup like a fucking Platinum. You were actually shooting shit, and I like that. You were consistently getting ult charge. You weren't getting too much value out of your ults, but you were getting it quickly, and I like to see that. Just try to improve the ultimates themselves, and overall, especially on Echo, try to shoot tanks more. I think that was your biggest issue, is you gave too much space focusing on other shit. With all that being said, it's going to be the end of the VoD review. If anybody else wants a VoD review, let me know. In the description, there's my Discord, join there, message me, or leave it in the comments below. All that being said, I'm going to head out, y'all. Peace.